Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the possibility of Pokemon entering a bear market. But before we continue, like, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit helps. So yeah, guys. Also, make sure to watch the full video because there's going to be two sides of this. It's not going to be one-sided. Just this is all we talk about here. We always talk about investing, but we're always honest. This is not about clickbait. It's about what I'm seeing in the hobby, what I feel about it, and then you guys can tell me what you feel in the comments below. So yeah, at the moment we are still going through a correction phase. You're seeing many things correcting across all of Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, and even before that, right? So I think soon we're going to be entering somewhat of a neutral phase where we're going to be seeing a lot of sideways movement. You're going to be seeing a lot of products go flat and maybe still drop a little, but for the most part we're going to be going flat, possibly through the holidays. We're going to be having TCG Player have an event here not too long from now where you will have an incentive to buy. You will save on their site, you will have credit, and it'll just cause more sales for that time being. But as I was saying before, this neutral movement may lead us into a bear market if sales continue to diminish, which of course is going to cause price drops and will then in turn cause a loss in confidence like we've seen before. For some reason, people don't have confidence when things lose value. Instead of seeing an opportunity to buy, they're seeing fear, they're losing confidence, they're thinking that their investment is no longer as valuable as it once was. And that's really the psychological part of investing, right? And that's not just simply here. That actually goes across the board in investing into anything. Once people see things drop, they start to lose hope in it. They think that their investments are worthless, and so they sell. And that's the fear part of the market. That's where the mental aptitude takes place, and see how strong you really are mentally, and see if you hold or sell. Uh, and I think we also have some unrealistic people in the hobby, right? We have people that believe that none of this was ever going to crash. Maybe none of it was ever going to correct. Maybe all of it was just going to go straight to the moon, right? Uh, and that's incredibly unrealistic. Like there's nothing that just goes straight up, right? At some point, it will come down, right? It may not come down to MSRP. It may not crash. Specific products will hold their value. They may correct a little bit, but still hold a lot of their value. Uh, and yeah, it will enter a point at some point where things will be for sale at MSRP, and we're talking about whatever is available at that time. New products available at that time, new sets. Older sets will not be, they will not drop down to MSRP, but that's just the way it works, right? And yeah, a bear market is actually good for investors, especially if you're a long-term investor. A bear market is great for you. It's just better entry points for the long term because they will appreciate over time. And this is what you're here for. We're talking 3-5 years down the line where you buy something now and you'll see it appreciate in the long term. A lot of what we're seeing right now has been more of an outlier, right? This hype cycle has really driven everything to like 100%, 200%, 300%, which is not typical. This is not what you see from an investment. This is not the norm at all. And this is not really what you should expect at all times. Will we hit another hype cycle at some point? Of course we will, but you shouldn't be expecting things to 5x in a matter of months. And it's also a thing where resellers should be at some point leaving the hobby. It's great that they won't be around to just expect something to be able to get flipped in a month or a week after they buy it and just take advantage of the market like they have been. So I think we're going to start seeing that diminish as well. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of resellers starting to just fire sell things and just giving opportunities to both collectors and investors that want to hold for the long term. But so I did want to show some things just to show you guys what I mean, right? So we're going to be looking at some graphs. It's not going to be many of them. I don't want this video to be full of graphs, so it won't be, right? So we're going to be looking at something like Destined Rivals. Of course, it's the main set. It's the best set in Scarlet and Violet. And even though it is the best set, you see here that in the beginning of October, even this set started to see some sideways movement, even though the price started dropping from that insane high when the box got bought out. The box is still seeing sideways movement. It's no longer shooting up to the moon. There hasn't been that much product to hit the market. We do know that Pokemon Center did put out some boxes, but that still wasn't that much. We didn't see it going everywhere. I don't see it anywhere else. And for that reason alone, supply hasn't gotten crazy. We have 303 boxes listed on TCG Player at the moment. But we're seeing sideways movement here, and this is what we're talking about right now. We're even looking at Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. Of course, Prismatic Evolutions is a really hype set. We see this set right here doing really well long term. And even this box, it saw some sideways movement, and it's also starting to pull back. Seeing its own little correction here, and that's normal. It's expected. But this is what we're talking about here for a box like Prismatic that we believe in so much. Then looking at Paldea Evolved, even Paldea Evolved being such a strong set, had an all-time high of $476, and it even has some sales at $490, and it has pulled back to $401. We're seeing sales below 400. We see here most recently sold at 395. Even Paldea Evolved, or Mr. P, like Rudy likes to call it, I like that name, is pulling back, right? And at some point, it will start to have some neutral phase here where it'll start flattening out, and we'll have a correction there. It'll just have some sideways movement. So yeah, even for Paldea Evolved. Another product from 151 that we believe in so much. I believe this to be the top tier product just because of what it has in the box. I love this box long term. The 151 UPC is also now finally having a correction and having some sideways movement just like every other product. And last but not least, of course, the 151 ETB, which everyone loves, is also having some sideways movement, right? It's no longer just going straight to the moon. It is appreciating just a tad bit, but it looks like we're going to start having a little bit of a correction right now, and it will at some point just have that neutral phase where it's just flat sideways movement, right? So that being the last chart we're going to be looking at, now we're going to talk about the other stuff, right? Because even though we do see a possibility for a bear market at some point, we don't really know what's going to happen, right? It's all speculation at this point. We can all try to make just smart decisions and just be maybe a little picky at this point. This is one thing that I've said before: be picky right now, be strategic. Just buy the things that you see fit that are great opportunities for you that you didn't have before, right? So talking about the other things, right? Demand is still very strong. Every time you see some kind of a drop, it gets sold out instantly. I have not been able to pick up one thing for Phantasmal Flames, for example, at least online, right? We keep seeing, like in the last 3 days, I've seen many drops for the Charizard UPC. I've seen many things for Phantasmal Flames, both booster bundles, ETBs, and some booster boxes. Everything sold instantly. What else? But there is, we do see that there's still low supply on like most products, right? There's nothing that's there in masses aside from Mega Evolution that came with its second wave, but it's the only new product. Some Surging Sparks has hit the market, has hit vending machines, and outside of that, there's really nothing hitting the market that we're seeing that's a major thing, right? So supply still remains low, keeping products still very valuable with demand high. But there is a subtle shift. Everybody's noticing a subtle shift in the market. People just aren't buying like crazy. They're not going buying crazy. They're not just spending all their money, throwing it all in the market. Now we're seeing people, investors or collectors like myself, that are much more aware of the risk when it comes to buying at the top, right? Now, even though you can dollar cost average long term and you'll still do well doing that, people are still being a lot more picky. They're being a lot more strategic, as you should be, because you may find many better deals out there. The deals that can be had can be great. I've seen people buy boxes that were worth $400 for $250. I'm seeing people on eBay just fire selling. We're seeing people on TCG Player undercutting each other left and right, just giving you better opportunities as an investor or as a collector. So we're in a point right now where we seem to be having like this cautious optimism, where we believe in the product, we believe in Pokemon itself as an IP, but we're still picking. We're still very picky because we don't want to make a mistake. No one wants to lose money. Everybody wants a better entry point, a better opportunity for the long term, and or just a rip if that's what you want to do. So yeah, that's just what it is right now. This is what I see. I'm seeing a lot of people ask, like, can this be sustained? Can this keep going? No, it cannot. At some point, it was going to pull back. At some point, it was going to correct. And then at some point, people are also asking, Pokemon ramping up printing. They're talking about the printing being at max capacity and things like that. Somebody may ask what's going to happen with the next biggest set, with the next AKA Prismatic Evolutions or Evolving Skies or Destined Rivals. What happens when that set comes out? How will the market handle it? At the moment, we really don't know. All we know is that Pokemon seems to be attempting to print as much as possible. We are hearing that the Charizard UPC is being printed to the ground from what they're saying. This is what we're hearing a lot of. We did hear that the Prismatic SPC was being printed to the ground, right? We were seeing images of like warehouses or a picture of a crate in a warehouse, and people were saying, look at how much they're printing. But then when they hit the market, there really wasn't much out there. We are going to be seeing some hit Costco. We don't know how much. But even then, at some point, you have to consider that people are going to rip them. And with demand being so high, they're going to tear through those like never before, and they will sell out instantly when they hit Costco. So keep that in mind. The Charizard UPC will continue to sell out as well. I don't think that they're going to last out in the market for so long. We're actually seeing them on the secondary market for like $250 to $300. So when they do come out for retail at $100, wherever they are, they will sell out quickly. So yeah, those are the two sides that I wanted to talk about. We have to be realistic with ourselves, and that's fine. It's not a bad thing. I'm not trying to instill fear. This is not what I do whatsoever. I'm just honest. I try to be realistic so that we can make the proper moves that are better for all of us. Um, so yeah, possibility of a bear market at some point. But a lot is happening next year, so we don't know how this will go. We might just go through this correction phase, then into a neutral phase, and then we might take off once again. So we don't really know exactly what's going to happen. But I did want to, give my 2 cents and just have this conversation with you guys. But yeah, guys, that'll be it for this video. I hope you found value here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there.